Watch an all new episode of Damn, That's Good with Big Salinas Barbecue with Randy and Junior Salinas. The show starts now. What is going on, everyone? Welcome to an all new episode of Damn, That's Good with Big Salinas Barbecue. I'm Randy, joined, of course, by my brother Junior. We got a good, fun episode for you. We are going to recap what our results and everything were at the American Royal. So without further ado, let's get this party started.
Hey, Junior here. We'll have a good, fun episode for you. Being real quick as we go and get things going. For it, the American Royal was fun, but we'll dive into that later. Let's get right into our small business shout outs for the day. Mine is Mike with Blaze range of products. Bring the heat, bring the sweetness, whatever you want, he can do it. He is a veteran, so we know how we love to support the veterans out there, and he's doing that. He's taking it on full time. Great dude. If you ever catch his stuff, go catch him on TikTok. Go catch him on Instagram. Go catch him on Facebook. Let him know the Salinas brothers sent you out there. You won't be disappointed. He is, like I said, an overall great individual, great dude. We had a chance to meet him at the Royal, but definitely go check out his products. You will not be disappointed. What you got?
So my small business shout out is Torres Meat House in Waco, Texas, located at 928 South Lacey Drive. Be sure to stop in and see the Torres brothers, their family. They got an amazing butcher shop, some great prices on meats, homemade sausage, chorizo, some
Ooh,
amazing rubs, sauces, everything there, everything that you need on one spot. So be sure to stop in there if you're driving through Waco, located in Waco, or if you just want to make the drive up one weekend just to kind of check them out. Be sure to stop in at 928 South Lacey Drive in Waco at Torres Meat House and let them know that Big Slim's Barbecue sent you, and they will take care of you regardless. You won't be disappointed.
correct,
That
dude.
is
That
my small business shout out. So let's just dive right
let's
into it.
get it.
Uh, our first segment, because this is going to be a kind of quick episode. We just want to kind of touch base with everybody on what we've been up to. Finally catching some sleep, but let's dive right into that first one. It's time to light the fires and crack open a cold one as we go inside the pit. All right, so recapping the American Royal. First thing is first. Have you caught up on some sleep?
Dude, little bit. We got in Monday, back on Monday. On Monday. Rested, ended up having to go get dinner that night. Just like, hey, I don't want to cook, you don't want to cook. We didn't like anything, so I went and got some dinner. So did more driving on top of the driving that we were doing. Um, and then Tuesday I came over, helped you guys, came in, did some work. Wednesday I was sicker than a dog. Stomach had been up and turned, so I literally called out on Wednesday from my work and couldn't even keep my eyes open. Slept pretty much all day, didn't really eat anything. Haven't really caught up on sleep after that because those that don't, Chelsea's a teacher, so she got to be at school early. So she takes the baby to daycare. So I got to help her with all that. So it's trying to catch up on the weekends here and there. And yeah, not really catching up. It's just lost sleep at this time. I would love to have some, but when you got stuff to do and you got to make that money or you got other things that's going on, just not. But how about you? You catching any sleep?
I have not caught up on sleep. Uh, Cleaning out the trailer, trying to get everything fixed in it, because the bed broke in there. But
Well,
fix
don't be a
that,
heavy
and then,
ass.
um, well, what it was um, so a certain someone, we're going to leave him nameless on this episode, but a certain someone who had already messed up earlier in the day decided he didn't want to leave my chair that he put in there propped up on the bed. So where it closes, it's supposed to shut flush. Well, it wasn't shut
Uh,
flush. The chair was still there. So when
I
we
was
slept in
like,
there, it broke in the middle of the night.
I
But
know the
it was
rules.
just,
Don't touch Randy's chair.
yeah, it's just, it was mainly just putting more screws in there, back in there.
Oh, gotcha.
But easy fix, no big deal. Uh, so fixed that, and then of course we had this vent cover over the bathroom broke off on the trip back, but it was already broke.
Tell me about it.
Before when I went up there, so it was a shocker that it made it up there, and no telling how far it made it back before it broke off. But no big deal. Like I said, it was already broke.
Yeah,
No
no.
big deal there. But yeah, I have not really caught up on sleep because, like I said, it's been since we got back, put the trailer back in there, started fixing stuff, cleaning it out, getting everything washed, clean. Still haven't cleaned everything in there yet. Um, but hey, sleep, sleep is whatever. If you get catch up, catch up. That's
and
the way I look at it.
and that's the thing. I was thinking about it the other day, and I don't even know why I was thinking about it, but we went to bed probably around what I would say midnight the day before the cook. Usually at competitions, I'm going to be honest with y'all, he's in bed by 9:30 because he knows he's going to be the first one up. He's going to be the first one up. I got up at 6 and I was the last one awake. Y'all had already been up, been to the showers, been back to the shower, been back. So that hats off out to you. So I can understand that night you were tired. You zonked out when we got back. You wanted no part of nothing that night.
Yeah, I will say this: very fun, had a blast, but it would have been a lot better if it had been guys only. So
Facts.
someone we're not going to mention her name on the episode, but she decided to bring everything in the household. I don't know
My
why.
wife.
Um, but next year we don't have to worry about it because she and the little one Eden is going to stay here all week and weekend because it is guys only next year. Already told my brother and told the other guy Ed. Guys trip next year because I want us to experience everything. Um, that there is at the Royal the parties. Hanging out with everyone. If we want to go see stuff in Kansas City, we can. We don't have to worry about we want to go see this, but someone wants to go see that.
Correct.
We want to go here, but someone wants to go eat there. Don't like that. Whatever. We can do whatever we want. Don't have to worry about it. No stress. No one having to complaining. Junior, we're here. Come get us. Come walk over here and get us. We don't worry about that. Uh, and then after that, we experienced it. Then they're more than welcome to come. But it is strictly going to be guys up there from next year on. And then girls, the women that they want to go up there, they're going to find their own way. That's the way I look
Correct.
at it.
I concur. We were talking about that just the other day, and I said he wants it guys only, and she's like, I can't go up there on the weekend. I said, you're finding your own way up there. We're finding our own way. We're going there and back, just the guys. So that's how it's going to be. And I said, because we're going to go a little bit different of a route. We're going to do things, um, just totally different. But you're right. Like, yeah, we did a lot of cooking and a lot of people did cooking there. And that's what you're kind of doing at these competitions, which is fine. But we didn't really get to experience what Kansas City had. Hey, let's go downtown or let's go this, let's go do that. Whatever we might have done because it was okay. Well, we know they're coming, but we don't know when. And those that don't know, just to kind of give it in perspective, I've heard it on other podcasts and I've talked to other ones that are doing like Johnny Max is testing his stuff out. How long that walk, even to the tram, was probably a good two and a half to three football fields away from our spot on asphalt, and it was 90
Yep.
something degrees, so it's going to be hotter. And I'm going to get them, going to get it back, and then they want me to take now at the evening. I have no problem. Let me suck it up. Let me go get them, because not that we didn't
It's not as
trust
hot.
anybody there. It's just it's you don't know who's there. You don't know who's been drinking. They've been parties and how they're gonna act. It's more of just taking care of them, doing that from that point. But yeah, it was hot. And then you look at it, I think that's more honestly, I was more tired. It took till probably Saturday for my feet to finally just get back to where I
Yeah.
could walk decent because it was like it hurt. It was a pain. It was there, but we got everything in. We'll get into probably more here in a second, but it was fun. But yeah, for sure, guys week, guys time. We get down there. We get down there like a Wednesday or so, and we have fun and just make it a guys time. I think would be awesome.
Yeah. Again, once again, say it again on this episode so everyone can hear me tell my brother, guys, week and weekend, all next American Memorial.
He heard it. I heard it. I heard it. It won't
So
last,
when
but
I can just say roll back episode 66. That's it. 10,
that's it.
1040 in there. But realistically, let's dive right into it. Biggest win for us, I would say, me personally, uh, not having our pops there driving, pulling the trailer out, pulling the trailer back. That was a win. Getting it out, getting it all the way there, getting it all the way back, and putting it back in without messing something up. That was the biggest win because, like I tell people, I pull my little trailer, which is like 16, 20 feet, no problem, used to it. Pulling that RV 30-footer, we've never ever, neither one of us have ever pulled that sucker out of the backyard. So if
No,
you've driven to our house, you know how it is. And putting it back was going to be, I thought it was going to be the biggest issue, but it
it
really
went
kind
pretty
of, it
smooth.
really wasn't.
It went smooth.
So
It
that
was.
was the biggest win.
I would say I concur, because it was strange the night before we left, getting it ready, him not being there. I'm used to, okay, I've got you hooked up, I've got you backed in. Okay, let's tie you off. Your trailer, nothing. Boom, you're out. You're done. You're already doing the loop, getting it parked for the night. You're done. And then we had to basically do that, which you already had it hooked up, ready to go, got it going. Um, just to do it, not forget anything on top of that, because that was always
Yep,
his department.
he forgot.
And yeah, get there, get done, get it set up. I was worried about the backing in there because there was already people there, a guy next to us. We parked it. We had to hit. You have to stay within a certain amount of lines. And we hit that mark. We did a great job. We didn't hit the brick retaining wall at the end. Ed really did a great job helping us out on there with that. So I would say, yeah,
Well,
I think.
yeah, we didn't. I didn't back that into to spot. Chad Epperson with Roll the Dice Barbecue.
Oh, he backed it
Amazing
in.
dude. Yeah, he backed it in because I told him uh, I knew we was gonna need help at least. But when we rolled in, I was extremely tired from driving 10+ hours there. And I just told him, hey,
Dude,
will you come back it up? So, yeah, I got you. So him and his son Bryce helped back it in.
yes,
So shout
with
out to them. But yeah, they definitely
roll
set
the
us up in a good
dice
spot. That spot
barbecue.
was tight though.
With roll the dice
Yep.
barbecue. You can't miss a. If you're at a competition and them there, go hang out with them. They're great individuals. He's a great dude. Overall, they definitely. I think we got a lot of love from it. People knew what was going on. Grab them by the brisket, stop by and
Yep.
shared their love about it. I remember them asking, and I was like, they asked for his dad. One of them said that their dad died. They knew the story, and that just tells you the barbecue community, how tight you really can be. Everybody helped each other. Our neighbors right next to us, with what is it, Hog Tide Barbecue or something like
Yep.
that. They were great individuals, really respectful. We respected each other's space on it. So overall, great thing. But yeah, getting down there, getting here. I think he only went over one curb at one time, but you could tell you were tired. The drive. I got great gas mileage going up there. Literally, I don't think I ever
I
got
believe
below
it.
3 quarters of the tank full. I was right behind the trailer, so I was getting no headwind. I was getting like 35 to 36 miles to a gallon of gas. I had Ed to keep me up, and I think that was part of it. Is we were getting tired on the way back, and I think Ed sensed that, and we started making games and talking, and that's one thing I know that's why you want guys, is so you can have that laughter, you can have that thing, because you need that just help stay awake, because the drive when you get into Kansas, holy cow.
It's
I thought
boring.
driving to West Texas was boring. I think we have found a new boring spot. That one spot is nothing but hills, and it's like the same turn to the right, over a hill, turn back to the right. It's
Yeah,
like you could have made this thing straight, like for real, like
yeah, it was. Yeah, it was definitely something else. That drive in, once you get into Kansas, you get in that turnpike from, or the way we went. It's definitely long, nothing to see but grass, hills, turns, construction, and then gas stations are on the left. It just was completely out of our element. It was weird. But as we got closer, we knew. It, to me, it knew. Hey, we're here. It was great. Um, great trip up there.
You
Definitely
got
coming back
you
was
got definitely when you
was
we got
worse.
closer, we got excited to get there. You know you were getting close. You know you were getting there. Going in the tunnel for the first time when we got in there was so exciting right there. Just to say, okay, we're here. This is it. Let's do this. And it definitely was exciting for sure.
Yep. Like I said, definitely had some great times. We'll dive into the meats now. We're going to leave one for last because that's going to be the sore subject. Um, but we'll dive right into it. So we'll definitely talk about beans, what we thought about the beans. Presentation wise, we got some great reviews. People love the bacon flag that we had on there. People were like, where did you buy it like that?" I said, "We didn't buy it like that. We cut it down into strips." And we had someone cook, which was Ed, cooked the bacon real slow to kind of get everything to crisp and not curl up. And then I cut it down to make it look like a bacon flag on there to kind of give it some peel. Uh, but I thought the beans were great. One judge did think they were perfect, but everybody else didn't like it. So maybe it was too sweet for them. I don't know. I didn't taste a lot of sweetness, but that's just me. What'd you think?
I when you showed the bean score, I was ecstatic with that 36. Basically, that's a perfect score in the world of the KCBS thing. That's he thought there was nothing to change. I thought potentially I could see a little sweetness on it, but a little too much sweet. But overall, I loved them. You were getting when you scoop full of beans, you were getting a little bit of peach, you were getting a little bit of the thing. Maybe we could have went with a little bit more seasoning here and there, but overall, considering we really was the second run of these because the ones I've been working on just weren't there. And as much as Chelsea was like, we need to do it this way, I was like, we have a year to perfect it to where we can get these beans down packed. I thought the flag thing that you and Ed come up with was on point. That's why he was there for presentation and to help with those things. Got the beans turned in. I was happy with it. Overall scores wise, a few points here, a few points there, and we go from basically half. We were about halfway out of I think 300 teams or something like that, a little under half, to
Yep.
probably getting a walk in beans and not placing higher. So to be right there just means we need to work on it a little bit. But overall, was happy with it. Like I said, we were talking about it here. Doing more things next year, maybe getting desserts. But apparently, you have to do a cheesecake if you even want to have a chance at desserts. So we'll have to see on that. But beans, I thought they were good to go. Was happy with what we turned in that category for sure.
Yeah, and like I told Mom, I think the majority of the people that won were probably using the Bush's baked beans. I know she was telling me when they kind of walked in on Friday or Saturday, they were walking by somewhere, and Chelsea saw some people with like three big cans of Bush's baked beans. She's like, "Look, I wonder if they'll sell it to us, and we can use that." And I told her, "Well, Junior had asked her in front of me, "Are you mad because we're not doing the beans your way?" And she just kind of kept her mouth shut. So I knew right then and there she wanted it done her way. But honestly, like I told Junior, sometimes your family will say something to make you feel good, and they don't really mean it. Which is why when we talk, if I ask him or Junior asks me, "Hey, what do you think of this?" We're going to be open and honest. Uh, to me, it seemed like her family were just saying, okay, yeah, it was very good flavor, this and that to her, because they didn't want to hurt her feelings. With us, you can just tell straight, straight out, and we won't be mad. Uh, but it is what it is. Like I said, we were gonna. To me, it was better for us to go ahead and cook the beans ourselves, so that way, we knew when we do another cook off, down the road here in Texas, we knew what we were kind of looking for, and we can kind of go from there to see how it plays here, and then go from there. So, you know, I was happy with the beans. Maybe they need a little bit more work here and there, but nothing too big. That can be changed. Just tweaking stuff, maybe
Correct. And I think
fix a
Chad
sauce,
said
stuff like
that
that.
too, that he saw the person next to him had four big old things of Bush's baked
Yep.
beans. And people think baked beans, and that's where you tend to go to. But like I told her, I would love to have the recipe down, because eventually they all had to start as making that way and make it our own kind of style flavor to it, instead of taking that and jazzing it up.
Yeah.
So, like I said, if everyone in front of us uses Bush's baked beans and we used our own, dry bean type of deal, and we got placed where we placed, hey, I can live with that.
Yep.
Because, we did a lot more work into it, started it overnight, cooked it, got it ready to go. The beans were cooked perfect. Didn't fall apart until you bit on it. I mean, it was just everything on it I was satisfied with it. And like you said, we can tweak the recipe as we go. We've got a year to prepare for it, so
Yep.
we'll go from
For
there.
sure. And then we'll dive into the meats. Everything for me kind of seemed to fall into place for us. Um, chicken right off the bat was one of the things that I was kind of worried about. Was it going to get done? But the ribs come off really good. The money muscle was come out at the right time. The brisket was done beforehand. Was I think 2 hours before. So at that point, it was just waiting, let them as soon as we turned in the chicken, getting the ribs done. Putting the ribs on the table. Do what I need to do. The same thing. Morning muscles and brisket. And that's where me and Ed were kind of okay. They're walking at 5 till or whatever. We need to have this done on the table at this time. Whatever you're going to do, we need to do it this time. So we're prepared there. Um, Score wise, the best category we had was the ribs. Ribs finished 104th. I think I looked, and I think we were one judge away from walking. But that was, for the majority of them that finished, there was really close, from around 175 to like 173.
Yeah,
Uh, but that one judge scored us like a 26 or 27, something like that.
yeah,
Everybody else was real high, 30s, 33, 34. I think of one or two perfect scores there. So we're just one judge away, in my opinion, from getting a call. And uh, ribs, I knew were if I hit the tenderness, the flavor was going to be there. Uh, and then, brisket wise, uh, what I kind of told Chad, maybe we need to go lighter on the seasoning at the beginning to kind of get what I would say like kind of a leather bark type presentation, and then hit it heavy later. Maybe try that to see if that'll help on the presentation scores a little bit. Flavor I thought was good, but maybe it needed a little bit more sauce. I'm not sure. Just little tweaks here and there. And then the money muscle, I don't know. Maybe it wasn't. Some wasn't cooked all the way. I don't know, but they didn't. They hated the money muscle. But we tried it. We loved it. We loved the flavor.
yes, we did. Or at least I did. I didn't get to try any of the ribs, so because they were getting eaten up. The
Yep.
leftovers were getting tore up on it, and
Yeah,
so I didn't
they're
really get
almost
to try it.
gone.
But so I was trying the money muscle, because for those that I was the turn in, me and Mason, were turning it in, and Mason said he was kind of on the first turn in. He said he's kind of nervous on it because he knew we were doing this for dad, and he didn't want to mess it up. So that told me he's nervous about it. I don't want him to have to take the fall for anything, so I'll do it. And I said a little prayer right there. I said, Dad, help me get through these next, because it literally is 30 minutes. Boom, boom, boom. 300 yards there, 300 yards back, rest, do it again. By the time I got to rest, drink, I don't even know how many bottles of water I drank, but it was a lot that day. And it was hot. Boom. Hey, getting on them. Hey, it's time to go. We got to go and get it going. So didn't get to try the ribs. Ribs were, I mean, they scored awesome. And it literally was, I think, again, it goes to that 2.5, 3 points. He scores it a 29, and I think instead of a 26 and some change. How they come up with all these fractions of a point is beyond me. Um, we were up there on it. The money muscle I thought was on point, tender, juicy, good to go. It's not something, yeah, I don't think we've ever put it in a competition like that I've been at. You've probably done it before on ones I haven't been
Yep.
at. Um, but it was on point. The brisket was really good. The only thing I could think of on just these three is we might have to change it for their kind of taste buds on it. That they're looking for the different, the Kansas City style barbecue.
Yeah, more. Someone said more sweeter. Um,
Correct. But I loved it. I think, if you ran, that's what I told you. If you ran with that, I think at a competition here local, I think we're getting a lot of walks and some stuff because they were there on point, um, based on what it is. And it really, for me, minus the one hiccup that we'll get into. It went smooth. I thought it was a smooth. There wasn't anything you were really struggling with as far as cook wise. Usually there's that one, this won't cook. I can't get it up to temperature. I can't do this. You're messing with the grill. It could have been the wind. Just there was no wind that Sunday that made it even hotter. I don't know. But it seemed to just kind of work out for you. Definitely that Sunday.
yeah, yeah. Like I said, everything kind of fell into place after a while. Uh, the chicken, I did get some kind of tips from Rick with Weed and Boys. So shout out to Rick for the tips. It did help. Chicken, definitely. That is the one subject that was a sore subject. Some already know. But so chicken, I thought was probably the best chicken I've cooked probably to date. Um, the moisture was there inside. The chicken thighs. The presentation looked really good. Kind of that red color that everyone is kind of wanting. That that gloss on top when we turn it in. Maybe a little bit tweaks here and there, presentation wise, kind of get everything lined up even and stuff like that. But that's just minor tweaks, here and there. Nothing too big in that sense. But when we were going to turn in brisket all together, checked my phone because I knew I had received the call and I knew I had a voicemail. Just hadn't had a chance to take it, to listen to it. So listen to it on the way, and I told them. And they thought I was joking. Hey, we just got DQ'd in chicken, and I had already read the message, so I already knew what it was. So let them listen to it, and then when Ed heard DQ, him and me looked at each other and said paper towel. So he decided it was a bright idea to put a paper towel at the bottom of the box and said, "Oh, we'll take it out before we go." Well, we both forgot about it because you start drinking, a couple of days before, just trying to get everything ready. We both forgot about it. We didn't see it in the box. Nobody else saw in the box. I don't know where they come across it, but somewhere in the judging, they saw it, DQ'd us. So what could have been for chicken, we don't know. But we got DQ'd in chicken. I think we're the only one that got DQ'd in all four meat categories. So
There
first
was
time
probably
for
more
everything.
based on where we finished in chicken because that's the key to it. We got DQ'd, but when the standings come out, we weren't last. We weren't dead
Because
last.
some people only turned in like one or two meats.
So
Uh,
we didn't, and like I said, it happened. I
we
think
yeah we
we were
didn't finish
upset. We
last
weren't,
overall,
and I think that's
but
what's weird about it is we weren't mad necessarily about it. He was hard on himself, and I think that led us to like, okay, let's. We were upset. Don't get us wrong. Like it was like, damn, we've done how many competitions? And I was giving him a hard time on the way back. So we've done
uh,
competitions for what, 7, 8 years, and we've never been DQ'd. Now I will take part of the jinx in it because what do I say? The one category we struggle at is chicken. It's very well known. The chicken did look delicious. Was awesome. People that ate it loved it. Said it was perfect for them. That they some ate two or three, some ate two pieces, some ate three pieces, so they loved it. And we just it happens. And I think that's what I told Ed. I said I'm not upset we got DQ'd more about it. It's I want to know how they found it because it is a mistake. At the end of the day, it's just something we made the boxes, we got to partying, we got to celebrating. Then it's the day of Ed's trying to not screw up because he doesn't want to. He knows Randy's got a lot on the line on it. We're there to kind of help him out. On it, and he didn't want to mess up, and he took it out on it. He took it hard on himself. He called his wife. His wife is like, "Hey, are Junior and Randy mad?" And he's like, "They're really not." Then he's like, "Just." He was harder on himself. He's still hard on himself
Yeah,
about it. So it's a lesson learned for sure. So next time we know, hey, we'll buy the kale there. We'll stop at a store there. We'll
yeah,
get it
yeah,
fresh. We'll make it fresh and we'll go from there. We'll be a little bit more prepared than I think we tried to have everything going up there. It didn't work, but like I said, it happens. In the grand scheme of things, it would have overall put us high, I think, higher ranking wise with everybody, but it would have it would it have mean all of a sudden we turn that in, we're grand champions? No, based
yeah.
on our
It
other two
wouldn't.
categories, but it would have placed us up higher. But like you said, overall, what was turned in, what was delivered in the box for everything, I was happy with. And like I said, wouldn't change a thing that you cooked and did from my
Yeah,
point of view, at least.
yeah. Like I said, and that's what Max. I told as long as you're happy with the results at the end of the day, and that's something we kind of talked about. And I told Ed, as long as we're happy, and I was happy with everything we turned in. I thought everything was good. But for the first kickoff there, first KCBS, we didn't know. I didn't know what to expect. I knew it was going to be kind of a time crunch. Um, and the person Hogtied Barbecue was like, "Well, I thought cooking on drums, you're supposed to get some sleep." And I said, "Well, I want to make sure I get everything done beforehand." Especially with the brisket, because I like to turn it down a little bit more to get more smoke flavor in there versus turning it up and letting it go. Some like cooking it hot and fast. Whatever your preference is just kind of making sure it gets done in time for it to rest. And that way you can focus on the other meats because, like I said, it's you turn it in one meat category as soon as the box leaves, you're putting the other one, the next one on, and the next one on, and so forth. Um, and it goes by really quick. Those 30 minutes that you have in between, it goes by quick, especially if you have a long walk. But overall, great experience. I wouldn't change anything. We're not going to change anything recipe wise. Like I said, it's just minor tweaks here and there, just trying to perfect everything. Um, and that, at the end of the day, like I said, I'm happy with what we turned in, happy with the results, and I look forward to next year. We will be back next year. Um, I did talk to Chad with Roll the Dice Barbecue. We're going to try to see how we can go about getting like a compound per se. Maybe another team or
Yeah.
two join me and Chad, so that way we can kind of set up right next to each other, have a big old spot, and we can all just kind of have our own little party inside there, and we can kind of help each other out. Um, you know, so definitely we're going to kind of look to do that. Um, and try to see how other teams do it. So that way, it kind of exactly where you're going to be set up by. You don't have to worry about it. We can kind of help each other out that whole week and weekend. So look forward to that.
I think that's a great idea because we were spending time over there, they were spending time over here. We could all relax. We know we're there. You could split the Porter John between the teams. It would save people some money in that regard because that was a great idea in itself. Now, if we can get one, near it or right next to it, then yeah, sure, you just go right there. But I think it was good. Like I said, everybody that was there gave us a lot of help. And like the next door neighbor saying, hey, you at Friday night, y'all might want to lock this thing, because if not, people are going to do who knows what in your porter potty. So I think just the tips that we learned from that. And yeah, if you can get a couple of different people to go in it and get a bigger spot, I think that would be worth it. Now I do have a question for you here. As we get closer to this, I was on TikTok live. I was listening to Mike from Blazing Star Barbecue, and somebody asked him how many racks of ribs do they cook for their cook-offs. He suggested they had 6. He thinks they had more, but he says out of the 12 racks that they had, and he was with the big old team, they had 6 that they were worried about. I know we take 3 racks, and I think that's a minimum. 3 racks, you're going and you're getting your best 8, 6, whatever it is. Out of that, what do you feel? Because I know Chad ran into some issues with his racks of ribs about maybe next year we have a couple extra racks that we try just to see, or what's your thoughts on something like that?
If you're cooking on drums, you're only gonna
You
on
can only
mine.
fit so much.
I can only fight 3. I've seen some fit 4 because they cut it down a little bit smaller. Certainly, you can if you have a big enough pit, like if you're running, an offset pellet smoker or whatever, and you can fit 6, 7 racks of ribs. Certainly, you can, and you can definitely do it that way. It certainly helps to have more options to turn it in, but when you have more options, you don't want to pick and choose from different racks because maybe some are kind of uh, more overcooked or some are undercooked a little bit. And then, of course, not every rib's going to taste the same. From each rack, so you don't want to pick, 2 here, 2 there, 2 there. Um, you know, Me, when I prepare for a cook off, I'll select 3 or 4. If I'm buying in a 2 pack, I'll buy 2 or 3, packs, and kind of cut them down and see which ones are the best 3, and then I'll go from there. So I always kind of go in prepared, knowing if I need to go buy another rack of rib, I can. Um, but good thing is getting it from my Shack's Meat Market weeks before. I already knew what the ribs looked like, knew what the brisket and everything looked like, so I wasn't really too worried about it. But if you're buying it yourself, you may want to do a little bit, be a little bit more prepared just to kind of
Right.
make sure there's no issues like that.
But
But certainly, yeah, it does not hurt to cook more
yeah,
racks of ribs.
if you can cook more, definitely I would suggest doing it. I mean,
Yeah,
for sure. We cook it on drums, and that's what I told them on that. I said, well, we have the drums and we're limited on space. So yeah, if we could have threw 4 racks or 5 racks of ribs, yeah, we're only churning in so many, but you never know what happens to them in transit. You never know what
yep,
happens to them there. So I think that's the key that you looked at. I think Friday before they came by to check your meat, you went and looked at them, and it's like, okay, are these still good? Yeah, we made sure they were back covered in ice, which that was one of my biggest worries and fears, is we were going to get down there and then all of a sudden it wasn't going to be, uh, they were spoiled or something, and run into Walmart, or we're trying to find a meat market down there that we can get a good rack or whatever. But we made it successful. But yeah, I think that's the one thing. And then I was like, wow, he's cooking 14, 12 racks of ribs or whatever it was. I was like,
yeah,
if we had Dorothy, we could definitely do that. We could have fit
yeah. There'd
way
be
more.
no issue
Uh,
there.
but
And
yeah,
that's what Chad was also cooking, on a pit, and then he had his pellet smoker as well. I think
yeah,
he had some other grills that he brought with him. But yeah, if you're like I said, if you're cooking on a big pit, certainly doesn't hurt you. It could help you. Uh, but for us drums, you got a limited amount of space to cook on. Like for me, chicken thighs, I cook 16 of them just to kind of give us a little bit more options. Um, a lot more people, I think we'll say 99% of people probably weighed their chicken thighs going into them. Mine, I just trimmed them and put them in there. But now going forward, I know kind of, what to look for weight wise and how to kind of go about trying to get everything the same. But we found probably about 8 to 10 chicken thighs that come out pretty much almost spot on, um, uniform wise.
Yes.
So definitely, the more you cook, the better options you have with chicken thighs. It helps you. But you always have to make sure that you cook it to the temperature you want.
Correct. Get that temperature.
Yeah,
You know, for sure. You don't want to be DQ'd for that reason. I mean, if it's a paper towel and a thing, that, like I said, I still would love to know how they found it, but it is what it is. But you don't want to be DQ'd because you served under cooked
yeah,
chicken
under,
or something.
yeah,
Because even if it's just that one, you're kind of you're gonna be scared, or you're kind of screwed in that standpoint of it. So yeah, no, I thought your chicken was on point. Like I said, it's just it's a sour subject. It hurts. It does. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah,
But, it is. It's like I said, learning experience will be okay. Moving forward, we'll be back in Kansas City. There, I know they're getting a new spot. It probably won't be ready next year, or probably ready the year after, a little bit further down the road from the Speedway. So how that will work, I don't know, but it's supposed to be just going to be for the American Royal. There'll probably be a big event center based on what they're saying. Um,
yeah,
and then, but we'll see, because like I said, there's people that have said it has been, when they used to do it at the football stadium, they'd be on one side of the stadium, you could be on the other. And by the time that one's coming back, the other person, you better have two people walking on those things. So that's the
yeah,
only thing, is like you want to make it fair, you want to make it even, but like you said, it's real hard if you get that spot like we did way on the other end of it, to make sure those turn ins are done on time
yeah. But that really was probably the best spot I think to be at. We'll
for
have
us
more
to get
teams.
out.
Yeah, yeah, for us to get out, and it was kind of really kind of quiet there, to be
Yes.
honest. Um, so definitely, we'll see where we can get at next year. Hope I do think I do want to kind of be in that same little area, because it was nice to kind of get in and get out. But anything else you want to talk about American Worldwide before we dive into other stuff?
Were you Was there anything that went on there that you were surprised about? Like you were just kind of like, oh wow, this go
Surprised about
like
but
for me, let me give you my example, and then you see where I'm going with it. I was shocked when people were like, hey, there's a curfew, not so much a curfew you need to be in bed, but hey, there's a music curfew, the music needs to be turned down at a certain time, there's this need to be. And literally when it got to that time, people that had bands, people that had this, it was like psh, and stopped, and no one violated it. There was a lot of rules that were set up in there, which is good, because we've been to these cook-offs, we're just a local cook-off, and there's the team next to you partying all night, jamming out all night. They're making noise. You're trying to sleep. You can't sleep. And then in the morning, they're half awake, knocking stuff over or whatever. And so it
yeah,
was very much a respect issue with the other teams, and knowing, I think they did a good job knowing that people are going to have families out there, and kids are going to be out there, of doing it, and how just I think that kind of took me in awe, because I didn't read all the rules, because there was a stack. If you've never looked at them, you could probably go to the thing and print off the rules, or just go look at them online, and you'll be scrolling for a while. And you violate those rules, and they don't play around. So I thought that was, to me, was like the biggest thing, of like there's a shut off on music, where like it has to be turned down dramatically at a certain time.
yeah. And I thought it was like 1 o'clock on Friday. I thought that 1
It got
a.m.
quiet quick
But
on
yeah,
Friday.
like 10:30, it was everything was dead. But a lot of teams, they know, hey, we need to shut it down because either they're cooking on Saturday, they know other people are cooking around them on Saturday. So kind of courtesy thing, I think. Uh, but that was kind of a shocker because, like I said, yeah, we're at cook-offs and people are partying or they're up all night talking, drinking, whatever it is. But not as really a shocker, but as a laughing kind of thing was someone. I'm not gonna mention her name, but she so called read all the rules for a week, but forgot what time the trans stopped running on a certain day. Uh,
No,
she wouldn't have got up when our mom said, "Hey, let's go."
she would
She
have
would have
missed
missed
it.
it. It would have had to
No,
walk.
that trans that day was supposed to run till 1. This was Friday night. The parties were supposed to go longer than they were because it's Friday night. They're gonna let it go for a
No,
little
this
bit
was on
long.
Saturday.
Oh,
She missed it
Saturday, correct. She almost missed it.
Saturday.
Friday, it was supposed
Yeah.
to go longer too, and they were like Saturday was supposed to, and so when we went up there, the people go, wow, they're letting us leave. They were shocked of just how, like, Friday night, it's packed. It is people partying, there's people coming down. That if you just want to come and have part, that's probably the day to come to see the nostalgia, to see the what's
Yeah,
going on
Friday.
with the American Royal on Friday. Now, Saturday is still a good day. Now, if you just want to come and chill and hang out with other teams, and that's a good day to kind of come for that evening. But it gets serious, and so it gets quiet pretty early Saturday because Sunday it's go time. People are ready to go.
Yeah.
Some people have already fired up their grills, and I think next door we were asleep, but they were sleeping on their lounge. They didn't leave because they had issues getting back in, so they were just like, screw it, we're gonna stay. Because people try to leave, stay at a hotel, and go, and then come back, and then there's you know issues with it. So,
Yeah, you have the
yeah,
long
if
lines
she
and get
if
back
she would
in.
have waited a little bit longer, I would have been walking back and had to get the truck to take them so that way we could have come back in the thing, and it would have been I would have not been a happy camper, just letting you know. But luckily
Well,
they
yeah.
literally made the last one. That thing took, I was
Yeah.
walking off when that thing was still sitting there because they were like, this is it. And there. So it was fun. Like I said, overall, great experience on it. I know Eden had a blast. He got to play outside in it. Being in there, being in a race, a speedway, you just see how big those things really are. And the banking on the turns, how much that is, and like, Ed was trying to go up there, and how he would look like he was walking up 6 flights of stairs, and he really he wasn't. He wasn't walking up in it. It was just that's how much it was, and some of it would go even
Yep.
higher. So overall, I think I enjoyed the experience, great experience, and looking forward to going back and better showing this next time for sure.
For sure. Let's dive right into our last segment, and let's go around the pit and we talk about everything like we normally would if we're at a cook-off or in the backyard. So let's go ahead and rip the band-aid right off. Everybody knows what happened to the Cowboys. They got their butts whipped. All that talking, they got their butts whipped. But overall, bad weekend for both of my teams because Texas decided they wanted to poo-poo the bed and lose to Oklahoma. And then Cowboys got destroyed on there. But in better news, the Texas Rangers moved on and now play the Houston Astros for the ALCS. Uh, that's a shocker right there because we all thought they weren't even going to make the playoffs, and now they're 4 wins away from heading to the World Series.
Big
Uh,
facts.
what's your
I,
thoughts?
I, let's start with the Cowboys. I was here, and the Cowboys got raped jailhouse style. And whether it is or not is there. So here's a funny story. I was upset at the game, and if anybody's ever watched football with me, if my team, especially the Cowboys or Florida State, or even I was mad at Texas losing because I'm not the hugest Texas fan in the world, but when it comes to Texas versus Oklahoma versus any of the other Texas schools, especially Texas Tech, it's all hook 'em, let's go, let's rock and roll. Um, you know, but I can get pie. Like I was like, Texas, you deserve to lose. You had them down and out instead of going to score for a touchdown. You decide let's play for a field goal. Stupidest thing you ever done. Because timeouts in college football mean absolutely jack when the clock stops on the first down. Doesn't mean
Yep.
anything. So let's move past that. They deserve to get beat based on their game plan at the end of the game. And I think the head coach even admitted that he screwed the pooch on that. Done. Cowboys got jailhouse style raped. I think that got to me more about the game, Randy, is your niece.
Hmm.
Chelsea used to do it. She stopped. She would go, dang, they're getting beat bad. Eden decides, I'm going to be into the game now. Daddy, look, they caught it. And it's the wrong team that caught it. They scored, Daddy. Again, the wrong team that scored. She got to the point where one time I couldn't help but laugh. Dak throws his first interception. Look, Daddy, look, look, look. He caught it. He caught it. It hurt inside because Dak threw his interception, and she did it with every interception. Like she could be watching her movie or playing her game on her iPad and looks up, sees the interception. Daddy, look, look, look! He caught it. He caught it. Yeah, he caught it, babe. And you can't like wrong team. You know, Chelsea's like wrong team, baby. She's like, no, it's a good thing. I was like, just twist the knife a little bit more, little girl, for me. But I was like,
Uh-huh.
okay, you're learning the game, you're watching the game. I'm gonna be happy. I'm not gonna be mad, but yeah, it hurt a little bit. That hurt, I think, worse than the actual game was knowing that your daughter's getting into it. She doesn't know which team is which. The Cowboys did nothing for her, so I could explain it. And you're getting that from her. So, it is what it is. The Cowboys are stupid. Um, Plain and simple. Dak's not the guy. He's trash. Period. I've been saying it for 2 years, longer than that. Um, the fact that now Micah is saying now it's personal, dude, you're playing the 49ers. There's the 49ers, the Eagles, the Commanders, the Giants. Those four teams, it should be personal right off the bat just because you have the star on your helmet. Just because they have the eagle or the commander or the niner symbol on their helmet. It should be personal initially. That's the one thing I give the Kettle. The people are ripping him. Well, he had the F Dallas. Okay, cool. I think Kerr said it best. Well, we shouldn't have let him score.
Yep.
I got nothing for you. You got beat. Y'all went in cocky. Dak's not the guy to save us like that. You know, people ripped when Romo was a quarterback, would rip Romo. Well, he got throw the interception and thing. But how many times did you ever see him get beat like that? Look that bad. The offense just looked like poop the whole season. If it wasn't been for the defense scoring points, all these games would be close. There would be no blowout games that we've been in.
Yep. He went out from what I watch, games wise. It's not the play calling because you can get the ball out of your hands quick. You take a look at 49ers offense. Purdy gets the ball out real quick, but he gives it to those guys where they can run after the catch, or he finds those guys open deep downfield. Dak's just looking, and if he don't see something, oh look, there's 3 or 4 yard route. I'm gonna go hit this guy. Like how many times have we seen where like I said this weekend, kind of felt like dad. They needed 5 yards and the guy runs a 3 yards and in. Like that don't help you. Run to the stick and then come in. Go past the first down to get it. It's too many times you're seeing 3 or 4 yards and then trying to dink and dunk all the way down. It's not
Correct.
gonna work. He
But you
has
said
to
it
rely
best.
on power run game, and he can't. He can't do it. Tony Pollard's not the guy. You paid him $10 million to be the guy. He's not the guy. Never going to be the guy. It's
Never.
time to cut your losses on both of them. And if we got to rebuild, we got to rebuild. But
But you said it best. He doesn't put them in positions where they can run. He has Brandon Cooks. The guy's got 6 yards on that linebacker. The announcers are blowing this. Look at Fred Warner doing this and that on Brandon Cooks. No, Brandon Cooks has got 5 steps on him, but you got a quarterback that is not accurate when it throws
he
it deep
waited too
like that.
long to see it. And the
If he
same thing
throws it
with
now,
Turpin.
granted
He waited too long to see him.
he was scrambling out. Set your feet, throw it down the field, and it's a touchdown because there's nobody else back there.
Yep.
And he doesn't put them in positions to run after the catch. The one catch they caught, I don't know if you made it. You probably made it home by then, where it was short. It was third and 5, and they ran a 3 yard, and he catches it square, and then he's got to then take 2 steps to run. No, you need to catch it where they can then go if you're going to do the 3 yard
Yep.
little short pass, so that he's still moving towards the sticks. He doesn't do that enough. I see high school kids that do that. Definitely the good college quarterbacks do that. you got to put him in a position to catch it and be able to still run after the catch. And they don't do it enough. He's not accurate at all. And my stance with him still stands. If he hits his first three passes, if they're on the money, the Cowboys win, hands down, blow it away, win. If he's off, if one incomplete pass, it's gonna be a long game. Period. Um,
Yep, and
uh,
really, it probably really is that case.
but
But my biggest thing with him is there's no one there, and especially with Dak, he's got no fight when it comes to the sidelines. Every time they see him, he's just kind of sitting there, nothing on it, no facial expression, or he's laughing, kind of smiling. Even when he's ready to go back in the game and he knows he's got to do something, he just kind of standing there. We saw it with Tom Brady, Troy Aikman, Aaron Rodgers, etc. All these guys who won Super Bowls. When it comes down to that time and they need to, yell in someone's face, they're yelling at them, trying to get them to run the route, do this, do that, and he's not doing that.
he's not the guy.
Yeah, so
But even like okay, we how many times we said it last year a lot. Um, he's looking at that stupid tablet. But if you're gonna look at the tablet, make the adjustment. You would see Romo, you would see Brady, you would see Rodgers, you see all these guys look at the tablet. Then they're going to come and that same pass, he do an incomplete pass. Guess what? It's going to the house, the next one, or it's going for that completion. They made the in-game adjustments themselves that they needed to do. He looks at it for what? Is he playing a game? Is him and Eden playing, the Barbie game or the pet game where they're cleaning the pets or fixing? What is he doing on that stupid thing? But it is what it is. You got to take the L on that. You tip your hat to the 49ers. They came out, they wanted it more. Are they hands down better than us? Are they, maybe not, but until we prove otherwise, they are.
yep,
As far as the Rangers are concerned, I'm with you, dude, because we said before the season they're probably 2 years away from it. And then you get DeGrom goes down hurt, all these people go down hurt, and they've stayed steady, just right there. They got cold at the end of the season. We were there watching the end of the season at the Royal, and these guys couldn't hit water if they fell out of a boat in the middle of the ocean. And all of a sudden, they're hot. They're doing their thing. They've gotten hot, I guess, at the right time. They haven't lost a playoff game so far, knock on wood. They're going to be in a fight against the Astros, the world champs. I think
if
it's
it,
great. You got somebody
yeah,
from Texas guaranteed to represent the state and then the American League in the World Series. I would love for it to be the Rangers just so we can point the finger back at Uncle Steve and his Shake Nation, but and all the Houston fans that we know. But it should be fun. It should be a great series. But like I said, it's just an exciting time. I think the Rangers are doing awesome. You hopefully get some people back pitching wise because the bullpen still scares me late, we'll see, but we'll see. Find
yep,
out Sunday.
we will definitely see what they do. Uh, I think they're the ace they traded for. I think they're saying he could pitch in this series. I'd be cool with him if he came in and just pitched in the
Bullpen.
bullpen. Certainly to kind of bump up that bullpen, especially with Chapman being your eighth inning guy and him struggling against Houston. If you have him just going in for the eighth, just kind of setting up for Leclerc, I think that'd be kind of a good idea. But if he starts and he's able to get back to form, kind of like Evaldi, right now he's pitching like on a stud out there. You got Montgomery pitching great. The bats just got to stay alive, and it's going to be a good series against Houston. We definitely see what they do, win or lose. Definitely, it is going to be fun. And as Ranger fans, we're proud of them no matter what. So they shouldn't have been this far, this quick. Uh, but if there's ever a time for the Rangers to shock the world, this is the year. No one's expecting you to go out there and beat Houston. No one's expecting you to win it all. You got nothing to lose. Go out there
That's it.
and see what you can do.
You're not supposed to do that. They weren't supposed to beat Tampa Bay, but they did. They weren't supposed to beat the Orioles. The Orioles were the best team in baseball, best record in at least the American League, maybe not overall. I don't have the standings up, but you're not supposed to beat the Astros because they're the defending world champs. I mean, so you're not supposed to do all these things. You've got no pressure. If you lose, it's expected for you to
Yep.
lose. So go out there with nothing to lose, play like that, and see what you can. You know, it'd be nice. You know, bring home a championship. You know, get to the World Series again. Let's bring it home, and we'll see what happens.
Yep. We will see what happens. It's going to be exciting. First pitch. Let us know who you think's going to win. I'm going to go ahead and call it Rangers in 6. What you got
Woo!
before we wrap it up?
I got Rangers in 6 as well. I don't think they
All right.
sweep the Astros.
No, yeah, it's going to be
People are like, we're going to
very, very
sweep the
close game.
Astros. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
if we can get the first couple of games, maybe you start to believe a little bit. I think, you know, going out there winning game one, it would be huge for them to show, okay, hey, look, we're right in here. But let's see. Like I said, I think the Rangers can win it in 6. I really do. 5 would be awesome. But 6, I think, is what it would be. But I could definitely see this thing going 7 games for
Yep.
sure.
Definitely going to be fun and exciting. We'll go ahead and wrap it up. My small business shout out is Torres Meat House. Be sure to stop in 928 South Lacey Drive in Waco, Texas. Check out their amazing meat prices. Their homemade sausage, chorizo. They got some amazing rubs and sauces in there as well. Torres Meat House, let them know that Big Salinas Barbecue sent you. Be sure to follow us on all the social media sites: TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, the new X. We're hardly ever on there, but it's at Big Salinas Barbecue. Check out our products. If you have not already, order them. Maybe you'll get some amazing stuff in there as well. Just head over to BigSalinsBarbecue.com, place your order. You won't be disappointed. If you're looking to get into competitions, definitely hit me up and I will give you some tips and what we use for it, and you can try it from there. But just keep on rolling. Like I said, always say give us stuff a try because you never know. You just may get hooked on big taste, big flavor, Big Salinas.
That's it right there. Of course, try it. Don't just try products once. Try it twice. Try it on various things. I use my. He'll have his cowbunga rub or something like that we'll try it. And I'll try it on different odd things. Some eggs and stuff like that, just to get the flavor of it. You will not be disappointed. My small business shout out is Blazing Star Barbecue. Hit up Mike today. You can visit him on Amazon, or you can go to his place as well. Follow him on all social media. It's Blazing Star Barbecue. His TikToks are great. He's out there cooking. Sometimes he goes live a lot and he'll interact with you. He'll answer your questions. I think they're coming to Texas in a couple of weeks. He wants us to go down there. I don't know if we'll be able to make it down there, but go check him out. He has his stuff. If you want that kit, you want the spice sweet, he's got it. It's stuff that he's come up with, his creation, and of course he's a veteran, so we definitely love to help out our veterans here that have made sure all of this is possible and we're free and there. But definitely go try all the products out that we try. If there's something you want us to try, let us know. Say, hey, hit us up on the social media. Say, hey, I've got this product. Can y'all try it? Can y'all tell me how it is? And we will send you the money. We'll buy it so we can give you an honest review of it. That way there's no, well, I gave it to y'all, I need a good review. No, we'll give you an honest review of it. And so we'll buy it. We have no problem spending the money to get it in for us. But we'll do that. If you have anything else, like if you want to join us one day on a segment, let us know. We can do that as we get back up and rolling. But remember, my advice is don't listen to what you're seeing on TikTok. Just because somebody says it's not good or you shouldn't do it this way. Randy knows who I'm talking about. Do it the way you want to do it. You're spending your hard-earned money on it. Cook the way you want to cook. Do it with love. Do it with passion. And we'll see you down the road.